Free Will by Sam Harris. Okay? Sam Harris is a neuroscientist, the study of our physical brains, and a philosopher. He went to UCLA and Stanford University. These are just some of his many accomplishments and one of his many books. Okay, I'm going to touch base on some of his theories, his some examples backing up those theories, and a couple takeaways I think might benefit you as an individual. Ready? Go! Well, it's actually me, but whatever. Anyways, he believes that free will is not as free as we commonly think in our modern society, okay? He believes that a large portion of us, our character, what makes us us, is a product. Notice how I said partially, not completely, of our upbringing and events that occurred during our upbringing, people we are surrounded by, food we ate, so on and so forth. Kind of like cause and effect if you want to think of it that way. Also, whether or not we have a soul does not really matter as far as free will is concerned. Notice what he says here. The unconscious operation of a soul would grant you no more freedom than the unconscious physiology of your brain. It's unconscious either way, so it wouldn't really matter. If you don't know what's going to come next, it's not free will. All right, you're not in control. Also, although we continually notice the changes in our experience, thought, mood, perception, behavior, etc., we are utterly unaware of the neurophysiological events that produce them. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen next. We are just a witness to what's happening. Some examples. Moments before you are aware of what you will do next. A time in which you are when you subjectively appear to have freedom to behave however you please. Your brain has already decided what you will do. Then, at that point, you become conscious of this decision and believe that you are in the process of making it. That's the illusion, alright? He also says, and this is a mouthful, I cannot decide what I will think or intend until the thought or intention arises. This observation is especially true in the cases where a person wishes he could feel or behave differently than he does. Think of the millions of Christians, committed Christians, whose soul happened to be gay, prone to obesity, or boarded by prayer. Okay. That's a very good example. So, basically what he's telling us is impulses, habits are created through our upbringing. Some aren't necessarily wrong, like being gay. That is absolutely not wrong, and I am pro-gay. Not gay, but I'm pro-gay, I'm pro-right, alright? So, certain impulses and habits and feelings and lifestyles are created through our upbringing that are out of our control impulses. Sometimes they can manipulate us negatively, but they are created in our subconscious mind. And sometimes it will make it harder to do things, sometimes it won't. Like if your mother had you eating shitty, sugary food your whole life, you're going to be prone to eating it for a large portion of your life. If you wanted to change, it's going to be hard because you're just so used to it. You created an impulse in your mind where you just always want sugar. Okay, it's kind of like that, alright? We would all know the factors that playing into making it too. In order to be in control of free will, we would have to know all the factors that play into making a decision. And we would have to know we would have to have complete control over those, which we can't because it's in our subconscious mind. It just appears out of nowhere. You just have a desire. Why do I like skulls? I don't know. I just do. Okay, we're unaware of that. So it's not complete free will. Also, and like I was telling you moments ago, unconscious neural events determine our thoughts and actions, and they themselves are determined by prior events, which we are subjectively unaware. I totally agree with this. What doctors think of as constituting a real self, and as many others do perhaps, is being pushed around by the mercy of neurons. Notice earlier how I said partially a product, okay? We are not completely at the mercy, thank God, of our upbringing, our impulses. We can change it, and here are some reasons why, and I really like this. Self-generated habits that we can create. Martin Heisenberg, very interesting guy. He is a neurogeneticist, I believe you pronounce it. He studied the brain. One of his many things was studying the brain of, or the neurons of fruit fly, that's really cool. I think that stuff's cool. I don't know why. I'm a morbid guy. Notice the skulls, okay? He observed a certain process in the brain, such as opening and closing of ionic channels and releasing of synaptic vessels, occur at random and cannot therefore be determined by environmental stimuli. Thus, much of our behavior can be considered truly self-generated, and therein he imagines that lies the basis of human free will. Okay? Certain states of consciousness seem to arise automatically. We are, be honest, we are growing tensions. Others seem self-generative, deliberative, and subjective to our will. Typo. So yeah, like I said, we have a certain bit of control over our lives, regardless of our past. And he really goes into depth in this book about that. Also, some takeaways. So you're like, why the hell do I even care about all this crap? All right. Getting behind our conscious thoughts and feelings can allow us to steer a more intelligent course through our lives, knowing, of course, that we are ultimately being steered. So if you know your weaknesses, it's kind of like a strategy. You know, you can't just cold turkey everything. If you know that, you know, you're bad around sugary snacks and you're going to have an impulse that's going to come around every time you see it, what should you do? Probably get rid of it, man. You know, same goes for any other type of scenario. You know, if you're really weak, then you know you're going to be subjected to, temptation. So, knowing this, you just be like, all right, well, I cannot be near this, or I can't go to the club, or whatever, or I'll cheat, or whatever it might, however it might be personal to you. Once again, even if you believe that every human harbors an immortal soul, the picture does not change. Anyone born with the soul of a psychopath has been profoundly lucky. So, like I was telling you earlier, we are not completely dictated by our past, all right? So, what he's trying to say is, like, even if you're a psychopath, you're still unlucky. He makes examples and first-hand accounts of people who grew up with a shitty childhood and ended up doing some stupid stuff like killing a girl. There was like 5 examples, real life examples. It was like the first 3, these guys had a shitty upbringing, they were abused, raped, and then they ended up killing a woman. And then there was other examples where they had like a good upbringing and these other men also killed a woman. So it doesn't really matter. It does matter. It does take its toll if you had a bad upbringing, but that does not mean you cannot change. All right? So keep these things in mind. I hope I didn't confuse you. If I did, you know, just tell me to improve and Sam make some fucking sense. All right? Thanks, guys. See you later.